Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
New at noon, 2 teenagers are hurt after a rollover in North Dakota farm field. Thanks for joining us. I'm Christine Stanwood. The Richland County Sheriff's Office says 15-year-old Ryan Lindsay of Wyndmere was hurt around midnight last night when he drove through a T intersection into a farm field and rolled his vehicle. A passenger, 17-year-old Chase Anderson, was also injured. The crash happened in the southeast part of Wyndmere. A developing story this noon. Police are asking for help tracking down a hit-and-run driver who they say injured a man early this morning. The crash happened around 3:30 at the intersection of Demers Avenue in South Washington and Grand Forks. 22-year-old Chase Bryan of Grand Forks was hit on the driver's side of his car when another car ran a stoplight. Police are looking for a white car with the new issue North Dakota license plates. The first 3 numbers of the license plates are believed to be 200. The suspect vehicle will likely have damage and red paint on its front bumper and grill area. So if you have any information on this crash, call Grand Forks Police. A West Fargo man is being treated for serious injuries after a rear-end crash with a tractor trailer near Frazee, Minnesota. It happened around 10 last night on Highway 10. The Minnesota State Patrol says 28-year-old Scotty J was driving on the highway when the truck turned from a side driveway and hit him. Jay's car rear-ended the truck and rolled. And it's a quiet and cooler start to our weekend. Let's check in with meteorologist Robert Hahn for a quick look at our afternoon forecast. Robert?
Yeah, the nice welcome respite once again after a couple of active days, particularly on Wednesday. And we have started to get some information on what happened Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, and into your Thursday morning. And we're going to start off with the tornado that happened up. It started in Rolette County, made its way over towards Towner County. This on the ground for 57 minutes, at times as wide as 1,200 yards. Peak winds on this particular storm around 120 miles per hour, rated an EF2. And again, this is on the ground for about 20 miles. Now, we just got the survey in for the damage over in parts of Minnesota. That also some significant damage. That straight line winds, and those winds estimated to be around 95 to 105 miles per hour. And that roughly into this area in parts of Becker County and parts of southern Hubbard County, northern Wadena County, and some significant damage there as well, brought by straight line winds as opposed to tornadic winds. Temperature-wise today, with mostly sunny skies to partly sunny skies, temperatures in the 70s, and we'll see some breezy conditions, not nearly as windy as yesterday. We'll take a look at that weekend forecast as well as a look at the next 7 days coming up in just a few minutes.
Okay, thanks, Robert. A tragedy in Georgia is a reminder to anyone who takes care of children to be vigilant when it comes to hot weather and cars. A Carrollton, Georgia man is charged with the deaths of his twins' 15-month-old daughters, who police say were left in a hot car yesterday. Officers arrived at the family's home and found the man and neighbors trying to cool the kids off in a kiddie pool. The girls died at a local hospital. There's an answer today to the questions around the death of a former Miss North Dakota USA at age 37. The Hennepin County Medical Examiner says Samantha Edwards died of complications of a heart condition. The body of the Fargo native was found inside her Minneapolis home on June 14th. Fargo school officials hope to have a better handle Monday on damage done to a Southside elementary school this week. A driver slammed into Hawthorne Elementary just south of Island Park around 9:30 Wednesday night, then took off. There was damage both inside and outside the building, but officials are waiting to hear if there are any structural problems. The outage is over at MSUM in Moorhead. Wednesday night's storm knocked out the college's telephone system, but repairs have been made and the phones are back in service. And more than 500 UND students are marking a major milestone today. Summer graduation ceremonies are this afternoon at 3 o'clock at Chester Fritz Auditorium. The UND website will be streaming the ceremony for people who want to watch but can't attend in person. New radio ratings show Fargo talk radio stations took a dive. In the latest Nielsen radio ratings, KFGO, the home of Joel Heitkamp, is down 19%. And WDAY, the home of Mike McFeely, is down 21%. The largest gains were made by country stations. The Duke up 42% and Froggy Country up 17%. The top-rated music station was rock station, The Fox. Be sure to check out the entire list of radio station ratings at valleynewslive.com. Just go ahead and click on this story. The special session to fix North Dakota's $300 million budget shortfall is over. The budget fix bill passed the House yesterday morning and was signed by Governor Jack Dalrymple. It's the exact version Republican leadership introduced earlier this week, and lawmakers used Bank of North Dakota profits, the state's rainy day fund, and 2.5% cuts to several departments to cover the deficit. Talk about a comeback. Less than 2 weeks after he was shot in the heart, a Minnesota pizza delivery driver returned to his workplace. Andrew Grice-Kiewitz was finishing his final deliveries one day last month when someone approached his car and shot him. John Lauritsen was there at the night for a heartwarming homecoming.
Oh, it's pretty amazing. His entire story is pretty amazing.
While most people long for a vacation, Andrew Grice-Kiewitz can't wait to get back to work.
It makes my recovery easier and better and makes me happier to know that all these people are supporting me.
Here we are. He's back at Delano's. It's not even 2 weeks later, so pretty amazing.
Especially when you consider that doctors at HCMC literally had to plug a hole in his heart. The gunman's bullet traveled through his shoulder, his heart, and into his liver, where it will likely stay the rest of his life.
The bullet is safely in my liver.
It's a story his friends and coworkers wanted to hear, but mostly they wanted to see Andrew. On biker night at Delano's, they held a raffle to help raise money for his recovery.
The winner will get half the pot and Andrew will get the other half.
With his lungs now 100% and his wounds slowly but surely healing, Andrew made the rounds at Delano's, though he's not ready to return to his delivery job just yet.
I remember a guy with a white mask. I remember a gun.
As he struggles to remember the moments leading up to when he was shot, just being back here makes Andrew realize he could have missed out on so much more than just work.
Great story. Andrew's family says the quick action by a passerby that night saved his life. Doctors say he was within a few minutes of dying when a man saw Andrew slumped over in the car and yelled at another person to call 911. Fargo police said goodbye this week to one of its police dogs. Koa worked with Sergeant Jim Van Leith for 4 years. Koa was deployed hundreds of times and assisted patrol officers in the apprehension of dozens of suspects. He retired in 2010 after an injury. And take a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Zachary Gilbert is wanted for several charges, including felony theft of property and forgery. So be sure to call Fargo Police or your local law enforcement if you have any information on Gilbert. When it comes to country music fans, Joanne McDonald takes the cake. The Dilworth grandma has never missed We Fest. She went to the first one in 1983 when it was only $35 and half the amount of people. Joanne didn't even miss the concert weekend the year she was battling cancer. She saved every lineup since 34 years ago and plans to put them all together in a scrapbook after number 35.